Hello, paper pals and crafty friends. Come along and join me as I make some washi tape using paper scraps and fabric scraps. Endless possibilities, all kinds of ideas. Today I will be using double-sided tape. Another idea that you could use is carpet tape. If you don't have either, you can use paper rolls or paper cut down into strips. You could also use corrugated cardboard strips. Pick your tape of choice, and you will also need glue. Any type of glue will work. Optional items would be some stamps, and the ink pad. You will need a pair of scissors. I also use my bone folder, and then I have my brushes to ink. Let's get started. I am going to do one with double-sided tape, and what I like to do is take my double-sided tape, tape it to my desk, figure out the length that you want, and then I also do fold it down and tape it to my desk. That way it won't move around and you have a nice surface to work with. I do have a box of fabric pieces and scraps. You can prepare your fabric pieces ahead of time or do like I do. I kind of work as I go. That's the type of crafter I am. I don't always have my ideas written down or planned out. I just kind of go with the flow. So all I'm doing is cutting a little snip and then tearing it apart. And you can use all types of fabrics. You can go in fabric colors that you like. You could have a theme, or just grab a fabric and then just tape it down. So to start with, I'm just going to put my piece right there. There is no rhyme or reason as to how I'm going about this. I'm just taking pieces and putting them down. You can go into pattern, like I said, or you can just wing it. I'm not worried about excess because I will be cutting it down. Let me just find a different purple. And if I have a little piece that's not covered, you can just go in with anything and cover that piece up. Again, I'm just cutting and then I'm tearing. And if I don't like it, I just cut it again. You cover it up. And then once you have it covered, you just lift it up. What I like to do is turn it over. Take my bone folder and burnish it so that the tape is nicely adhered to the fabric. I don't mind the edges like this, but if you did not like that, you could go in and trim them off. And I just try to follow the line of the tape. Do the other side. And then what you also can do is if there are any pieces that are lifting, if that bothers you, just take some glue. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue, maybe. And tack it down. I really don't mind them hanging up, but I know that some may not like it. So you would just go through and glue any pieces that are lifting up. And what you can also do is take some ink if you wanted to ink up your edges. You could come along and ink up your edges. Kind of make it look vintagey. And there you have it. Let's do another one. Let's do it with paper this time. So again, I'm going to grab my double-sided tape. Let's do a small one. And I'm going to tape just one end down maybe. Nope, see how that flips up if you don't tape it down? So I like taping it down just so I feel like it's easier to work with. And then you would just grab some paper scraps. And the process is exactly the same. Tear your paper scraps up, or if you want them to be nice and neat, then you could cut them. I like the torn edge look, so I am just tearing as I go. And then again, you're just taping down paper. No rhyme or reason. I'm just having fun and enjoying the process. Picking papers out randomly from my scrap pile. Lift it up. And I just kind of flatten everything down. This little edge of whiteness, I just cut off. Again, I'm going to burnish it down just so that the tape on the other side will adhere to the paper. And then I am going to trim off this excess. You can leave it scrappy if you'd like. I have made some that I have left the edges scrappy. And then again, if you wanted to ink it up, take whatever color ink you'd like to use. And you can ink the edges, or you can ink the whole piece and make it look vintagey. And the same thing, if there are any pieces that are hanging up, you can come in with the glue. This time I'm going to use a glue stick. And I'm just going to glue down some of those pieces that are lifting. You could also stamp an image on them. So let's see, it's a small one. So let's do that one. And where my background is neutral, I am going to grab my black ink pad. And I'm going to use Versa Fine. And I do like to stamp the image on something first, just to see how it's going to come out. And then just position it to where you'd like it to be. And stamp it. Simple, but cute. Okay, so let's try it with carpet tape. I have not done it with carpet tape yet. I've been meaning to, but I just have not done it. So the process is exactly the same. I'm going to take some carpet tape. I'm going to cut the length that I want. This is very sticky. I'm going to tape it down. I'm going to reach back into my fabric stash and grab some blue fabric out that I have. And I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to take fabric, tear it or cut it, whichever you'd like to do, and then simply stick it down onto the double-sided tape. Well, in this case, the carpet tape. And you can make the pieces thin and do really thin pieces, or you can make them wider so it covers more space. And then if you have a little area that hasn't been covered, no worries. Just take another piece of fabric and you can overlay it and put it on the edge. And then let's see, what else do I have here? I'm not really worried about going in a pattern. I'm just finding fabric from my pile. I'm gonna just tear it up. If it's too big, just snip. Snip and rip. And then let's see. Let's do a little bit of this one here. And then I'm going to lift this up. And I'm going to put this piece here. Now I do have a little piece that hasn't been covered. So I'm going to take this piece and add it there. Put my fabric aside. And then again, you can leave it scrappy like this. If you think the edges are too thick or too wide out, you can trim some of it off, like this piece right here. You can just snip it some. I actually like the scrappy look, so I am going to leave that. I'm going to come in with my glue though, and anything that is lifting up, I'm going to glue down. I'm just reaching for a needle to help unclog this. And then again, I'm just going to find the pieces that are lifting up, put a little bit of glue, and kind of tack them down. There are endless possibilities with making your own washi tape. One of them being if you have fabric laying around the house that you're not using, old clothes, tear it up and make some washi tape. Save some money on buying washi tape. I do have a ton of washi tape, but I haven't used it. And I saw this idea. I've seen it in several different places, in Facebook, all over YouTube, and I thought I wanted to try it for myself. So I like the scrappiness of this. You can embellish it further. You can put other clusters on it. You can add button clusters. And then what you can do is you can use them as page tabs, like I did right here in my August journal. I made a fabric page tab. Just cut it down to the size that you want, or you can simply use it as a page edge to decorate a page. Bottom, you can put it on the top, the bottom, the side. You could actually even make a cover of using a bunch of them. That's an idea. Make a journal and then just cover it with all kinds of fabric. So we've done it with the carpet tape, and then we did it with the double-sided tape. Another idea that I had was to use corrugated cardboard, and I pulled off some of the paper from it, so this would show. And the same thing, you can use fabric or you could do it with paper. So I'm going to reach in and just grab some colors from my box of scraps. And it looks like I just grabbed a little handful of browns and oranges. So basically the same thing with the double-sided tape. Obviously this isn't tape, so you're going to use your glue. And this might not be the best glue to use because I'm having a hard time getting it out. So I'm going to grab some of my Eileen's tacky glue. Now this is a first for me doing it with the cardboard, but I see no reason why it wouldn't all work the same. Okay, I need to snip the top of my glue stick, my glue bottle. And I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? So same thing. Your fabric. And what I did is I glued it down and then I just kind of pushed it into the grooves. I hope everyone's having a good day or have had a good day. It is Sunday, early evening, about 5:45, when I am recording this. And the weather is kind of cold and dreary here in Massachusetts. Winter is upon us. I am not a winter person at all. I do not like to be cold. I am a summer girl through and through. The hotter, the better for me. And then again, I'm just kind of working it into the grooves. Let's see, let's use this piece. Again, I have a little spot here empty, so I'm just gonna snip it. And I'm tearing it. I'm gonna put some glue down. Obviously with wet glue, you do need to let it dry before you actually go to use what you're making in any type of project, because it is wet glue, so it does take longer to dry. And I'm just gonna kind of smush it in to where I want it to lay. And then you just keep on going, keep on layering up. I think that's enough for this one, so I am just going to snip it off there. I'm going to let that dry. And then again, for this one where it isn't double-sided tape, you could actually use this as a, sorry, lost my words, as a page edge where you can glue it onto the page in your book. And then the other side, you don't have to worry about being tacky. So I'm going to put that aside to let it dry. And then let's do one more with the double-sided tape. Just like I said, it was just going to be a quick video. So I have a little bit of glue on my hand from the tacky finger, the tacky glue, so it's a little bit difficult. And then seeing I have orange here, let's just use some of this orange up again. Let's cut some of this up. And I'm just randomly placing the pieces on here. I'm not worried about how it looks, if it's lined up, is it crooked, is it straight. I'm just going with the flow and having fun. That's what crafting is all about. I'm learning to embrace the messy mistakes. Just enjoy the process. Life sometimes can be too crazy and complicated to worry about how your projects are coming out. For me, it's all about having fun, and crafting is my escape. So I just want to enjoy the messy mistakes, enjoy the process, and just create something for the joy of creating it. So again, I have some pieces that you can see the white. Just snip them off. If you don't like the messy edges, trim them off. I do, as I said, like to burnish it down. And then we're going to come in again, and any of the little pieces that are up, you can use your glue and tack it down some. So that is my video for today. I hope you will try and make some of these. This is what we made today using double-sided tape, these two. This was made with carpet tape. This was made with corrugated cardboard. And we did this one with paper, and I did a stamped image on it. On the fabric ones, you could also go back and ink those up too if you wanted to give it a little bit of a vintage look. So there you have it, friends. Quick and easy using double-sided tape or carpet tape to make your own washi tape. If you try it, I'd love to see pictures of yours if you could post them in the comments. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments as well. I will be sure to go back and comment and answer any questions that I can. And before we leave, let's draw a inspirational card from the deck and see what we pull. And let's see. You did an amazing job. Well, not so bad if I say so myself. First time making washi tape, my own washi tape. I did forget to tell you that you can cut these pieces into whatever sizes you would like. Long, short, page tabs. The possibilities are endless. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining, friends. See you in the next video. Bye for now.